Hey everyone, this is Quakeman. This is going to be an interesting video that I never thought I was actually going to get a chance to talk about. But I will, because it was released on Steam yesterday and I was completely unaware of this, and it kind of bothers me. So, this morning, a really good friend of mine posted a link to a Steam store page to a game that I have talked about within friends. I have never made a video about it because I don't have a capture card. I wish I did. Um, to talk about a game series that I think is underappreciated for my own reasons. I know people look into Gran Turismo or Burnout or Mario Kart or Wipeout or F-Zero. You know, those are the classic racing games out there. But there's a recent series that I feel should be played if it hasn't been played, and it's something that I hold high standards for because of the fact that I've written a personal story based off of the sort of world this game is built. And obviously, you know, it's hard to hide something when the title kind of gives it away, but it's a game series called Extreme G Racing, or just Extreme G on the N64. There is 4 games in the series, 2 on the N64, and the other 2 were kind of multi-plat. I believe XG-3 was on GameCube, PlayStation 2, and I think that was it. And then XGRA was released on all platforms, including the Xbox original. These were being, I don't know if created or published by Acclaim, the same people who did the Turok stuff, which is another great series I love. And it was a racing game that I had very fond memories on a huge factor, especially with XG2. You know, yes, XG2 is dated, and you could tell from the video it is dated as hell. But it's still something that I hold so true, because this game did something that I felt a lot of the other games didn't do at the time. Most racing games tend to have just, you know, tracks, just normal tracks here and there. XG2 included sub-tracks to it. For example, in the harbor, there are 3 sub-tracks that you can do. You're still in the same layout as Harbor that you remember, like, you know, with how some of the areas look like, but some of this stuff changes. And there's these walls you'll see with these lights. That's a sector you could go in another race. And I thought that was cool, because not only is there just a track called Harbor, but then there's 3 sub-tracks of Harbor, which adds more to the game. And there's multiple levels that have that, and I thought that was impressive for the time. And I haven't seen a game do something like that in a while. The closest I've seen that done that was Forza 3. And probably some other games out there I just haven't played. But Forza 3 was the last game I remember where there was a bunch of different sub-tracks to one of the tracks. And I was very happy to see that. But more games haven't really, quote-unquote, done that in a way that I thought they would. And I kind of wish more games did this whole idea where, you know, here's this environment, and then there's different directions of that environment that you can take, so there's different skill levels involved. And I love that sort of thing. And I was very impressed with it. And it made me sad that XG3 and RA kind of lost that, but those are still really good in their own direction because of some of the things they changed. All bikes have their own weapon system built on that you can use, and they're recharged. The weapons on the game were on the map for XG2, and the only thing about XG2 that I will give a bit of a negative point to was that the music was kind of just dumb. And as much as I listen to them on my MP3 player on a daily basis because of memory's sake, I won't lie that the music production for XG2 is really bad. XG1 sounds hella better. And if you want to see this, just look up XG1 Track 1 music, and you'll see what I mean. And then if you listen to XG2, you'll also see what I mean. But everything else I thought improved what XG1 did not. And I did not play XG1 until later, because now I own the cartridge. XG3 I played later, which added team bikes to the system. They added much more bigger tracks and more deadlier weapons. They added a shopping system to the game to where you have to upgrade your engines and your upgrades, and if you want to buy weapons, you buy them. But I thought the game was so much bigger and better because of it. And then RA, I think, took everything I liked about XG2 and everything I liked about XG3 and made it into a beautiful game, in my opinion. The music they got, with some of it being from BT, was so great for the sounding of this game, and I was very happy how it turned out. Now, I'm sorry to give that history for 5 minutes, even though in the background I was supposed to be talking about what you see. But the reason I'm talking about this is because Extreme G Racing 2 got on Steam, and it doesn't seem to be horrible. It does seem like to be a report. It doesn't seem like they worked on anything per se. But I was just kind of surprised to see this existing on Steam. It says the publisher was Throwback, but I don't know. I think Throwback is a new company that's trying to release these games. I don't exactly know. But all I know is that it just surprised me to see this on Steam yesterday. Now, a lot of people have been giving it negatives, saying that that the port isn't seriously unoptimized. Some people are saying that they're only getting 5 frames per second. I'm not exactly sure. My experience with the game was that the game was locked at 33 frames, which is understandable for a game as old as this. So I don't mind that. I know some people out there are going to complain about how, oh, geez, this is terrible. Why would a PC game be released with 30 frames? Old game. That's all I can say. And I feel that the game's very specifically tied to the mechanics, and if they increase it more, it's going to get worse. So, I mean, heck, I remember XG2's frames per second on the original N64 is like 20. So having it at 33 is makes the game a little bit faster. But I still think it's great. The issues I've gotten so far with it is, for some reason, the music does not play when it should. The menu music's missing. The music from certain levels are missing. Like, the music from Harbor plays, but everywhere else it just doesn't seem to play. Not sure why. Maybe it's something they can fix later since it just came out. But what also fascinated me about this port is how there's apparently they got the Extreme G Racing 1, 3, and RA soundtrack that you could actually play within this game, which I find a little odd for a game that was released on the N64 to have RA music. I would think the exact opposite. If they released Extreme G Racing RA onto Steam, and I know RA means Racing Acceleration, but if they got RA on Steam, that would make more sense to have Extreme G Racing 3, 2, and 1's music on there. But having Extreme G Racing 2 to have XG3 and XG-RA on there is kind of weird. But I gotta say, I mean, it's pretty nice for a lot of fans out there who like Extreme G Racing. Probably not a whole lot out there. I mean, like, I don't know how many people have bought it. It seems only 8 people have gotten reviews on it, so it's hard to say. But it pretty much seems to be entirely just Extreme G Racing 2. They didn't change anything, it looked like. Split screen was removed, though, for the PC version. But for some reason, I think, and this may be me just not doing my own damn research, but I think Extreme G Racing got a PC release. What's it? Oh, it did! Extreme G Racing 2 got a PC release in April 1999. Interesting. I am so dumb that I didn't even realize this. So pretty much it's just the PC port, probably with a couple things changed around to make it more modernized. I can run it at my high resolution, which is 1600 by 900. So everything doesn't seem too bad. They feel like the way I remember it when I played on my N64. But you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with this, and if this does well and gets a lot of people who buy it, and the developers or whoever released this port works on it to make sure it's good as it can, because again, people are talking about optimization issues. I'm talking about music not playing at times. But if this sells well, maybe we'll get an XG3 or RA, and I may be the only one who's excited for that. But if that's the case, please, please, please. Anyways, I'll end the video here. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much, and take care.